Everybody, it's time for another Stockman Stampede. It's Saturday. We're going to come out of the gates blazing. That's brought to us by no other than Terry over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. Be sure you go check out his channel. Let him know the BigJ sent you over. Just a great dude with a great channel. Likes to talk about some man stuff, and that's right up my alley. But what we got today is we got us a cattle knife. It's brought to us by Tom over at Knife Delights. If you guys haven't watched any of our vids here recently, we did a little meetup last weekend and got to do a little shopping, and I had some gifts for him, and he let me borrow some knives. So this is one of those that I want to kind of talk about before I send it back to him. Be sure you check out his channel. He's got Knife Delights and History Delights both, so be sure you check both of them out. And again, let him know BigJ sent you. But this right here, it's an Imperial Cattle Knife. Now what I'm going to do is I want to tag his original video that he did on this knife down in the description, because he really goes through probably the history of it a little better than I can, and he does a little cleanup on it and everything. If we look at this, you know, he even talks about, you know, the tang stamp where it says Imperial Providence. I believe it says RI on there. I'm not 100% sure, but he dated this knife as a 1936 through 1952 knife. If we look, it's just in pretty good shape for its age. We got a little bit of spacing right here, but I'm sure he'll fix that up. It probably just needs put down in the vise and kind of squeezed in real slow. But we got us a great looking shield here. Some black polymer style covers here on for the scales. We got brass liners. Pretty cool spear point blade. Now it just needs sharpened out right there. So once he puts an edge on that, that'll form back into a regular spear point once someone, you know, takes this and sharpens it correctly. But I'm sure, you know, he brought them with him to show us. And here we got us a spade blade as well. But what makes this a cool cattle knife, Terry over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff, is we got the punch. Everyone loves a Stockman with a punch. Now I've got a few of them with a punch. I've got a case 18 pattern with a punch, but man, that sucker right there, and I've said this before, you could probably give vaccinations with that thing. That sucker, look at the point. I don't know if we can see the point on that, but look at it just grab. She's sharp down there on the end. You know, got the kind of an L shape here, but you can definitely use that to poke through whatever you wanted to. Now let's look at this blade here. Overall, we're looking at probably, excuse me, I'm still a little sick here, but probably I'd say 3 3/8 inches long, closed. Fully open, we'll put her here on the 6. She's going to go to probably 11 7/8, so she's 5 7/8 inches fully open. The blade, the total length on it's going to be about 2.5, with a cutting length about 2 1/4. It's got a sharpening choil in there as well, but again, once someone sharpens that out, that'll just get a nice spear point tip on it right there. Now, as far as the spade blade's going to be probably 1 7/8 open total, with a cutting length of probably 1.5 inches. And your punch, we can't ever forget about the punch. I just love these with the punch because that's just a handy dandy tool, as opposed to just a smaller blade you may not need. Boy, you can't even see it so sharp out there on the end of it. It's at 1 7/8 fully open with that total probably 1 5/8. But man, that thing is just, she is sharp. Whew, boy. But again, just and listen to the snap this thing has. You know, he took it. In his video, you'll watch him clean it up, and the gunk he was able to get out of the inside of it, because they clean up the outside pretty well, but they forgot to get the inside, I believe. But man, she just, you'll love it when you pick something up this old. That the newest it could have been is 52, so what is that, 72 years old? Yeah, just a lot of life still left in this. Again, I would honestly just put that in a vise with some leather to protect it, and just squeeze her down and see if I could get her nice and tight right there. But I mean, it's not affecting the knife at all. The knife is still, you got just a little bit of play, but not a lot. I mean, you're going to get that once in a while, but sure, once you tighten that down right there, it'll take all that out of there. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife for its age. You think of something like this and what it's seen and what it's been through, because this knife has definitely been used. Because back then, people bought a knife and they had it, and that was their tool. They grabbed this, they went out the door, they didn't have it locked in a cabinet or anything, and oh, this is my special knife. It just, they had a knife. Hard to tell what they paid for it back in. $1.25, $1.50 maybe, and this was their tool, and they used it till it was ready to throw away, and they went to the hardware store and got them another one. Well, even back when I was little, hardware stores, gas stations. Still back home, there's a fuel station a mile from where I grew up that he's an authorized case dealer. Then my buddy's got a bait and tackle shop back home. It's 5 miles from where I grew up, and he's an authorized case dealer as well, and I actually bought a knife at his place here about a month ago. But guys, this is it. Guys, be sure, again, like I said, you check out Tom over at Knife Delights. He's just a great dude with a great channel. We and him and Jesse had some content go out here last weekend, so be sure you check all those videos out as well. And don't forget about Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. Great channel, great dude. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm still a little under the weather. My voice is crackling and popping, so that's all she's going to be. And I'm going to get this knife back to Tom in Iowa where she belongs. So, alright guys, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think.